Hey guys, what's up? It's Kyle here with another Raw review. Sorry I wasn't able to make a SmackDown review in the last 2 weeks. I did get a chance to see SmackDown this past Friday, and I thought it was a good show. But by the time I watched it, Friday had already come and gone, and I was out busy doing some shopping and stuff on Friday. But I did get a chance to see it on my DVR. I thought it was a good show from top to bottom. SmackDown was good last Friday. But on the Raw tonight, Raw opens up with Roddy Piper in the Piper's Pit. In the segment with John Cena. Pretty much telling John Cena needs to, I guess, let these people know, meaning the fans, people who boo him, let them know what he thinks. And that, if he doesn't get this off his chest, then, come WrestleMania, he won't stand a chance against The Rock, and he thinks John Cena is the face of the WWE. John Cena is he's the man, in the company, but he just thinks that John Cena needs to, excuse me, he thinks John Cena needs to address the certain issue, with people booing him and stuff, to I guess help elevate him, even further or whatever. And John Cena just being the goody-goody, Boy Scout that he is, just pretty much says, in Chicago with Money in the Bank, I was there, and Chicago in WrestleMania 22 in Chicago, which I was there also. How the crowd reacted towards him there, and how the crowds reacted towards him during the ECW One Night Stand pay-per-view, and everything else, and it doesn't matter. If people cheer him, great. If they don't, whatever. He doesn't care. He does what he does, for the kids and people who, are loyal to him. That's who he, stands up for and believes in or whatever. So, and Roddy Piper smacked him in the face, I guess, to try to get some fire unleashed from underneath his belly. But Cena just turned around and walked away. Now this segment was kind of crappy, but I see why they did it. And a lot of people have always said, when's John Cena going to turn heel? John Cena should have turned heel in Survivor Series. Everyone was expecting that, and some people just think that it's not going to happen at all, or that it should even happen at all. I still do think John Cena is going to turn heel, and I think the segment that he was in tonight with Roddy Piper kind of, I guess, I don't want to say, it kind of pointed, it's starting to point John Cena towards that road eventually to turn heel with tonight's segment with Roddy Piper. I don't think it's going to be something, it's going to happen overnight. I think when John Cena does turn heel, it might be around time WrestleMania season, or it just might be at WrestleMania when he faces The Rock. He might turn heel on that spot. But I think the build for John Cena turning heel, I think it's going to be a slow build. And once it happens, I think it's going to be a shock to everybody when it happens. Because I think when John Cena does finally turn the switch and turns heel, it's going to be at a time and moment where a lot of people won't expect it. So I do think John Cena will eventually turn heel, and I think tonight's segment kind of pointed John Cena, in that direction to eventually turn heel. After that, we got into the first match, which was a false count anywhere, John Morrison versus The Miz. This was nothing special, really. It wasn't, just crappy opening match. This is John Morrison's official last match ever in WWE. As of tonight, John Morrison is done with the WWE. He doesn't want his contract re-signed by them, nor do they want to re-sign his contract. So this is the last time we can see John Morrison on a Monday night show. And within the next couple of months, more likely sometime next year, you'll be seeing John Morrison as Johnny Thunder on a Thursday night televised program, which you guys should all know by now. But, so yeah, this is nothing special. And then Miz, I don't know, trying to seem so really tough and legit, by talking really slow and, talking about how he's going to beat up everybody who's ever held him back, and just didn't come off very believable at all. Miz just does better playing the cocky jerk heel than being, a legitimate tough bad guy, because I can't take him seriously. So yeah, after that bogus crap week segment, got into a Divas tag match, the Bellas versus Alicia Fox and Kelly Kelly. Really didn't last long, 2 minutes. Kelly and Alicia Fox getting the victory, and then there was one part during the match where Beth Phoenix and Natalya were running around the ring like they were running track around the ring and ran backstage. Didn't understand the point of that segment at all. Completely pointless. Waste of space, waste of time. Didn't see the purpose of that. After that begins the match with Dolph Ziggler and Randy Orton. Yeah, Dolph Ziggler and Randy Orton. This was, I thought, it wasn't bad. I was expecting to be, I was going into this match, I was expecting to be a lot better, if not just as good as the last two matches that Ziggler and Orton have had on Raw and on SmackDown. This wasn't the best match out of all three of their matches. Out of the three matches that Ziggler and Orton had so far, this I will put at the bottom of the list. Really wasn't that good. A couple of hit and miss spots here and there. But Wade Barrett was the guest on commentary, caused a distraction for Randy Orton, and Dolph Ziggler ended up getting the victory. So I guess that's probably the only bright spot out of this match, is that unlike the other two matches that Ziggler and Orton had, where it was Orton who got over and remained victorious, Ziggler actually got over on Randy Orton. Was it a clean finish? No, it was due to distraction. But hey, it's in the record books. Ziggler got over, so at least that's a good thing. If anything else, the match wasn't good itself. At least Ziggler did get over on a top guy like Randy. So that was cool. But then we get to a pretty funny backstage segment with Johnny Ace, David Otunga, and Alberto Del Rio talking about the main event match for the championship. And Punk comes in and says that he was looking on, he Googled and saw how over, I think, like 1 million something people or whatever had linked laryngitis with spineless, and he Googled Alberto Del Rio, and the stuff that came up there was everything that's related to being boring, saying that Alberto Del Rio is boring. And he said, "Oh, I got you too, Otunga. I put your name in the Google search, and I couldn't find anything else but Vanessa Hudgens." I bust up laughing on that part. It was so hilarious. Taking a crack at David Otunga. Completely funny. And then after that, we get into a match with Zack Ryder and Jack Swagger. This match was all right. A little botchy towards the end, but the way they finished it off, I thought was nice. So Zack Ryder ended up getting the victory on Jack Swagger. Then we got into a promo with Daniel Bryan, and Michael Cole. Michael Cole is pretty much calling Daniel Bryan a hypocrite, saying you said you were going to cash in your briefcase at Mania, but you ended up doing it on a poor, defenseless, champion like Mark Henry. And Daniel just told him, main event in WrestleMania is one of my dreams, but what I care about most of all is becoming a world champion. And I take that any day over being, in a spot at WrestleMania. And so Mark Henry came out. I tell you, ever since Mark Henry has become the world champion, Mark Henry has put on some of the most, not only believable, but just some of the most hilarious promos I've seen of him in his entire career. Henry comes out and says, haven't you learned your lesson already? Like, haven't you learned, your lesson after I beat some sense into you, for weeks? Haven't you learned yet that you can't beat me? Whether I have 2 legs, 1 leg, or no legs at all, you can't beat me. And so just a little, I guess, final build-up for their match tomorrow on SmackDown, on the steel cage match. And then after that, we get into the main event, CM Punk versus Alberto Del Rio for the WWE Championship, or ADR versus Punk for the championship. If Punk got disqualified, intentionally got himself disqualified, he will lose the belt to Del Rio. This match, okay. Like the Ziggler match, a little hit and miss spots here and there. Not that much to ruin the match, but there were some noticeable hiccups in the match. But this match was okay. This wasn't bad. I probably say the best match of the entire card. But this match was straight. This was decent. One segment was pretty funny where Alberto Del Rio had the turnbuckle. He had the cushion. He had untied of the turnbuckle. The referee was trying to tie the cushion back onto the turnbuckle. Alberto Del Rio had a chair. Hit the chair on the mat to make it seem as if Punk hit Del Rio with the chair, and Del Rio threw the chair at Punk to try to play it off to make it sound like, oh, Punk hit me with the chair. So disqualification, belt goes to Alberto Del Rio. But Punk ends up catching the chair, throwing it to Alberto Del Rio, and lays down as if he got hit by Alberto. And the referee sees this, and Alberto's like, no, I didn't do it. Just an awesome, funny moment there. I really enjoyed during the match. That was pretty funny and awesome. But Alberto Del Rio's ring announcer was causing distraction for the referee. Punk was going to give Alberto the GTS, but Alberto was struggling and fighting, and Punk ended up knocking Alberto's head on the exposed turnbuckle. Got the cover up and the 1-2-3 pin. He got the win. Punk still WWE champion. After that, Alberto's ring announcer tried to explain to the referee Punk just cheated. He bounced Del Rio's head off the turnbuckle, and Punk's trying to plead his case, and Punk's like, just skip it. Picks up Alberto's ring announcer and personal ring announcer and gives him the GTS as well. And, show just ends with Punk hoisting his belt up in the air and still your champion. So all in all, my reviews on Raw, I really didn't care for Raw tonight. If I compare this week to last week was a much better show from top to bottom, except for maybe the Miz R-Truth ending. That was kind of awkward and weird. But with the exception of that, I thought last week's Raw was much better. And I'm not saying every Monday night, every 365 days a year, that Raw should be a home run every Monday night. I'm not saying that. And I don't expect Raw to be a home run every single Monday night, Had a good Raw last week. This week's Raw, a little bit weak. Was it terrible? It's not one of the worst Raws I've seen, but it's not one of the strongest Raws I've seen either. It was an alright episode of Raw. Nothing really special. Highlights for me were Punk's backstage segment, the moment when Punk had played off as if Alberto hit him with the chair, and I'd probably say Dolph Ziggler. Dolph Ziggler's promo that he had cut before the match. Those are probably my highlights out of the show tonight. And of course, seeing Roddy Piper. I love Roddy Piper, so it was good to see him too as well. And I even say the whole thing with Michael Cole and Daniel Bryan, I thought was pretty funny, and Mark Henry, I thought was pretty funny. So those are probably the only highlights for me out of Raw. But all in all, Raw was alright. Nothing really special. So let me know what you guys think of tonight's Raw. Did you like it? Didn't like it? Comment, subscribe, rate the vid, like it. Peace.